Test down. White sands, beautiful women, nice food. I don't think I'm coming back, man. Ain't coming back to the States, baby.
1, 2, 1, 3 in the place to be. This is your host, Adam Mill, from the podcast, Guess I'll Say It. To the right and left of me is
the governor.
On Bizzle, back at it again.
Boom, boom, boom.
Right.
Today, we mourn Marcellus Williams, brother who was wrongfully executed. May Allah give him gender for dof. I mean, prayers for his family and his children that he left behind. Sad case. When it comes down to the black male and the justice system in the United States of America, I believe this been going on. I know this been going on for over 400 years when black men has been hung wrongfully. There's nowhere in the world that anyone on the face of the planet could tell me that any slave that was hung during the slave trade and during slavery, physical slavery, because we're still going through mental slavery.
Right.
Any slave that been hung during the time of slavery that was wrongfully hung, you can't tell me all the slaves that were hung during slavery was wrongfully hung, wrongfully executed. Because even if that slave decided to run from the plantation, even if that slave decided, you know what, I ain't picking cotton today. It's too hot. Morally, what you just did to my wife, you raped my daughter, you beat my son, you belittled me in front of my tribesmen. I'm standing up to you and I'm not gonna do any work. Okay, we're gonna hang you. And not only that we're gonna hang you, we're gonna make a picnic out of it. That's where the term picnic comes from, pick a nigga. We're gonna have little white kids take pictures in front of you as you're strangely hanging from that fruit, that tree, which is strange fruit. They're gonna smile and laugh. They're gonna take pictures of you. They're gonna hang them up on your wall, on that wall. They're gonna tell their children's children the story and make you look like the victim. The villain. They're gonna make you look like the villain, the bad black man who got out of order. So let's fast forward this situation now. These are the grandkids of the slave owners who used to hang these black people unjustly. So you think they're gonna cry themselves a river, feel any type of remorse? If anything, they figured that they contributed to the cause. I believe this execution is gonna play widely, very strong in this coming up election. I don't know, Gov, maybe you can educate me on this. I know the governor has the right to stop an execution, although this went through the Supreme Court. I don't know if the president has the right to do that. I don't know.
I know a governor can stay it because like every state, the governor is really like the king of the state when you think about it. When they really break it down, they the ones that have the power to say they can die or not, basically. So so the governor has the right to stay it, but I don't think they can like overturn the whole thing. You know what I mean? Like they can say, all right, not today.
Gotcha. And the reason why I say this plays in the election, let me tell you why. Because Miss Kamala Harris, you for us, as you say. What hurts us when it comes down to injustice to us, speak up on it. Say it loud and proud, as James Brown used to say, the late great James Brown used to say.
Right.
Say it loud and proud. Quiet as a mouse.
Mm-hmm. See, I don't think that
We know
she.
we know Trump. Go ahead.
I don't think that she's against it. Because back when even when she was a prosecutor in San Francisco, there was a death penalty case that I think there was something like that. They just went along with it.
Yeah. Now
So,
let me make clear. I'm for the death penalty. What I'm not for is injustice of the death penalty.
right, because I think they
Let me get it clear.
Now the one thing I have with this case, like with this whole Marcellus Williams thing, is why they wait so long to come out and say, "Oh, I'm the one that did it like 6-7 days before." You know what I mean? That's the only problem I have with that. But still, even given the fact that it was 6-7 days, why not? Why not find out for sure? You know what I mean? What are you hurting to do that? Now I understand the victims. Like I guess was it Gail? I forget the last name. The victim. I know her family.
The white lady. Yeah.
Right.
Somebody look her name up. I don't. Yeah.
Right. I'm pretty sure that her family, on the other hand, is like we've been through this for years and years. Why all of a sudden now? So I get why they would pressure to say, why don't we just go ahead and get this over with? But at the same time, I think that her last name is Gail. But at the same time, I think that I don't know. I just think when you call it due process and you talking about you all about justice, I think that it's worth
it. Yeah. I got a list, man. Gotta take my glasses off because I'm what you call nearsighted. One of the most touching ones on the list, besides Brother Marcellus,
there's another one, yo.
May he rest in peace. One of the ones that was close to my list, and look, as a man now, 40-something years old, I cry, damn it. I get emotional, especially when it touches my heart. George Stanley.
Okay.
He was executed in 1944 at the age of 14.
Oh, that's the kid. I remember the picture.
He was so short that they had to stand him up on books.
Yeah, they put him on phone books or something like that.
Once again, the audience, white. Follow me here. It's the trail. What I said in the beginning, when they used to hang us, and they thought it was justified, when it wasn't.
It was a crowd.
Then kind of find out, years down the road, guess what, Gov? Drum roll, please. He didn't do it.
Oops.
David Spencer, 1997. Leor Jones, 1998. Guy Gernhan. Claude Jones, 2000. Troy Davis. List goes on, man. I got taught to write. I got taught to reading. This is crazy, bro. Right. I think personally, now I'm going to let y'all have it. Y'all can take it home from here. I think personally, they're thinking hundreds of years in advance, while we always thinking just to survive another day. They already got what's in stall for their grandkids, where we just surviving week to week and don't leave anything behind for the ones who's coming up after us. And I believe this is why the generation thinks that we have failed them. I know we have failed them. And they have lost hope. So, Gov, what's your take on it, man? And Corn Bizzle, and for Gov, I want to hear your outlook on it. I think that America's trying to wipe us out. They've been trying to wipe us. Trying to wipe us out. And my grandma used to say that 100 years from now, you're going to look up and you're going to see an African-American behind glass in the museum. And some white little kid or somebody going to say, who is that? They said, that was the African-Americans. They used to live here at one point in time.
But it'd be all replaced. And the sad thing about it is you don't have a mind. If you don't have a mind, you don't have control of your own mind. You can't think for yourself. You won't be able to do. You're not able to do for yourself. You're not able to actually teach anything. So if you can't teach, what do you have? What legacy are you leaving behind? You got children, you got grandchildren. People used to come up with the thought process that I got to make sure I have something to leave my grandchildren. You know what I mean? Now we pretty much just burn through everything we can as we go. And the sad thing about it is we burning up all our power at the same time. You don't own any. If you don't have any property, you don't have any actual value, no claim to anything. So where's your power? Your voting block. What is a voting block without any power? You know what I mean? There's no money behind you. You're basically retreating. You're basically going down to basically being the lowest level of society. It's like we're basically just guaranteeing ourselves to be. So, and then when you talk about these things, like the injustice when it comes to the death penalty, then let's multiply it even further, because there's a lot of people that's not in the death penalty, but they're also doing life in jail, life in prison. You know what I mean? So you got people going through the whole penitentiary system, which is basically slavery, because they said that this is the compromise. You don't want to have to say, fine, good. We just go ahead and put them all. We'll just use school and everything else like that to go ahead and indoctrinate these people. We'll use popular media, everything else, because everybody want to blame hip hop, but a lot of these things that we see people doing, we're watching people actually just replay Grand Theft Auto in real life, but no one talks about GTA like that. They just want to talk about the hip hop and the drill rappers. You know what I mean? But it's a combination.
I want to elaborate
everything
on it too. Later on when we talk about that, I want to elaborate on it too.
Right. So when you put all of these things together and they trying to just make sure that the mind state of the youth, especially certain youth, is always geared to destruction, it's guaranteed that you're not going to be around.
Quan Bizzle.
Yes, sir. To be honest, this is a very sad situation we got ourselves in. You know what I mean? I just feel like something like this is very repetitive. It's gonna keep happening. It's gonna keep becoming repetitive if we don't fight. And it's more than just physically is what I'm talking about. It's fighting verbally, using our minds, using us as a community. At this point, we can't rely on a leader. We need multiple of leaders. We need multiple of people. We can't rely on somebody just for them to not be who we find out they are the whole time, for them to get assassinated as they kill off and assassinate our leaders and everything like that. They strip our towns, drown us, do whatever they can, because you always find that they tell the black community, pull yourself up, stop complaining. Get your own stores, get your own food. While you're always complaining. But when we did have stores, towns, they drowned our towns, they burned our stuff down, they harassed us, and they tell us, get out of our country, leave, go back to where you come from. But then when we leave, they don't want us to leave. So it's always a thing where they enjoy our downfall and enjoy torturing us at this point. So I feel like there's nothing more to do but to fight. A lot of people might say this is a little terrorism. I'm not going to say anything, that's going to get us locked up. Don't worry. But I'm just saying that, we're here for so long and so many generations are passing. We're not getting younger by the day. And yeah, it feels like we're going extinct because we're not fighting. We're not fighting at all. We're protesting, but you're not fighting.
So you think that we giving up the fight?
Yes.
You think
I'm
that?
I'm not saying every black person has given up the fight, because that would be ignorant to say. There's some black people out there that are fighting. I can't be ignorant and say there's no black people out there fighting.
The spotlight is not on them. The spotlight to me is on the fool. And they give put all this money in his hand and say, here's a plant. We're going to grow you into the soil, act a fool, and manipulate the young minds, and have the young minds go against the older minds that lived and had these experiences. Go against them like they don't know nothing. They don't know nothing what they're talking about. Clowns and these fools running around in the circus, manipulating. And these are the new role models. These are the new leaders and stuff like that. And this is why the society the way it is.
Exactly.
Yep. Because I'm going to say one more thing, though. Right? I love Malcolm X. I love that man to the day I die. I love him. I read some of his articles, books about him, everything. Watched documentaries about him. When I first seen the movie of Malcolm X, I became very obsessed with his leadership, how he leads, how he talks, how he conducts himself, how he educates himself, and he doesn't ignorantly spew things out his mouth. You know what I mean? Like some of us do. You know, I respect him for that. He wasn't someone that spoke ignorance, and he tried his best to educate himself. That's why even when he was in a nation of Islam, he wanted to seek further education. He was always a man thinking ahead. The point I'm getting at, sometimes our best leaders and the best change we had, this isn't history. I don't know who's going to start it, how it's going to begin. I do know eventually what will happen. I will say that the best leaders in history, the best warriors in history that changed things and that were known in history were the ones that caused a little bloodshed. Think of the Moors. That's all I say about that.
We need a black Moses, man.
Sika, what I understand the point you're making is a lot of people refuse. A lot of people don't do the right thing because they're afraid of what can happen. You know what I mean? He's basically saying, but I think the point you're making is we got to move without fear. You know what I mean? There's a certain fear element that stops us from wanting to do the right thing, from wanting to speak up when it's time to speak up because you're afraid that there's repercussions. You know what I mean? It might come after me. It might come after my family, this, that, and the third. But sometimes that's worth that. You know what I mean? For the higher cause. You know what I mean?
Sacrifice.
That sacrifice is necessary. You know what I mean? And when it comes to anything that's been any major movement ever in the world, right? Anything that's ever happened, there's been a sacrifice. So there's always been a sacrifice somewhere that made that thing, this movement, still something that people still talk about to this day. So
yeah,
I
think we lost tribalism, girl.
Huh?
I think we lost the sense of being a tribe. I think they put out black exploitation movies.
Yeah.
The same trick is just different faces.
Yeah, over and over again. You know? Whatever ways, you know what I mean? Think about anything that can be detrimental, things that are bad for you. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Things that are bad for you oftentimes are pushed as the thing to go do. You know what I mean? If you're not with it, you the square. You know what I mean?
Yep. Or it doesn't feel good.
Right.
Like when your grandmother used to say, eat your vegetables.
Yeah.
Eat your black eyed peas. You know what I'm saying? Do you got any sugar to add with that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, it was an innate desire to do what's more easier, but at the end of the day, is more detrimental and less beneficial. One of the songs I hated, man, coming up, I loved it as a teenager, but now as an adult, I hate it to the core. It says by Tupac and the brother from the Bay, both of them
I ain't mad at you.
Gone from us. Rest in peace. This song I hate it. I hate it now because I understand the terminology behind it. But as a teenager, I loved it. It was Tupac with Cool Breeze. But the song is I think you gotta get yours. I gotta get mine.
I remember
you gotta get yours. I gotta get mine. Get yours.
Yeah.
That song right then and there, I remember older hustlers playing it in their car and looking at us and saying, I got mine, get yours.
Right.
What I mean?
Shift.
Yeah. Meaning like
it wasn't us no more.
Yeah. And not only that, it's mean like as long as I got mine, I can care less if you get yours.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So.
And that's dangerous. That's dangerous because if you're the only one with it and everybody else is hungry, now they coming after you.
Exactly. And that's what they want.
Mm-hmm.
They want us to listen.
Basically cannibalize each other. Exactly.
I think Malcolm said it best. He said, if you're not sitting at the table, then you the menu.
Yeah. You know what? I think another thing just caught my mind. You ever deal with mice and rats? You got like the glue traps. You got the glue traps, right?
Yeah, I grew up with mice and rats.
Let two of them get stuck on there. What do? They start eating each other up.
Yeah. That's crazy.
That's exactly what they trying. That's exactly how they set us up.
And the person who set the trap is just sitting back watching.
Watching. Yeah. Look
Yes,
at them.
sir.
Look what they do. Look what they do to each other.
Yeah, yeah. So we've been a test. We've been a lab experiment since King what's his name Mansa Musa. Since King Mansa Musa put us on the radar with them. We've been an experimentation
right.
study. Even go back before Mansa Musa. Go back to the pyramids in Egypt. We've been an experimentation study right. with them.
And the sad thing about it is, you know, like say the crack epidemic, the 80s.
Yeah.
The sad thing about it is, that thing is morphed into an epidemic that hit not only just us, now it's the whole country. The whole country. Because now this whole fentanyl and all these pills and everything, we seeing the same situations that would ruin our communities alone. Now I'm seeing it in the suburbs.
Yeah.
Looking out in all them towns.
Mm-hmm. Let me ask you this: Did they intend for that to happen?
No, they didn't.
Or was
but
it
I think that came back.
Collateral damage? Or was it they knew that collateral damage would have to take place?
No, I don't know. I don't think they intended it, but I think that came back on them. Like this is like the end result. You know, you reap what you sow. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Now you can look at it that way too. Somebody put me down, man. They said, listen, we're not ready to go to war with so-called Caucasians. Can they find you at?
You can find me at GUVNA Mansion MANSION at Instagram.
MC. Okay. Oh yeah, you got it. MC.Modella on TikTok, Instagram, everything. You already know what's up.
And you can find Guess How Said on TikTok and on YouTube and on Instagram. It's Guess How Said podcast. And the Cash App will be in the video. So donate whatever y'all can. Once again, we can't do this without y'all. Hopefully in the future we can start buying mics, and as our audience grow, we can put merch down and all of us can reap the benefits of this podcast. So yeah, we're gonna dive into the next one. So this is your host, Adam Milton. Right left of me is
we got Sick Club the Governor.
Bizzle, you already know what's up, man.
All right, peace. We on to the next one.
Yeah, I just touched down. White sands, beautiful women, nice food.